And here is Redesigning the Inner You author, Ashika. Again, back on my show. How are you? Beautiful.
Hi, Anu. I'm so excited. I swear it's like a girls' night, even though it's like morning here. I mean, early afternoon, and it's like nighttime there. I always feel like it's a girls' night when we talk.
Oh yeah, it's just we just get on so well, and we were just having a bit of a discussion before we hit the record button. I was thinking, okay, I think we need to say this on the call together because I feel like listeners, you all need to hear this amazing woman talk about her experiences with dating. Da, da, da.
Da, da, da. I feel like we need like a drum roll for all the moms out there, right? It's like everybody's ready.
I know because my last dating episode, it was really popular because it was all about kind of looking at the traits in a potential partner and looking at the red flags, right? It's huge.
Yeah.
That is huge at the moment. And we were just discussing that even post-COVID, there's just so much out there which you need to be careful of, girls and boys. Sorry if there's boys listening.
Yeah, it goes both ways because there's so much unknown out there, and um desperation too, perhaps, that like if because we weren't really ready for the pandemic, and some that were alone had really no idea that they would have to be alone for an extended period of time, right? So now it's like post COVID, everyone's like, oh my God, okay, let's find somebody, because if this happens again, at least I have someone at home.
Yeah.
Hence why I got a cat.
Yeah. 15 weeks old, right?
Yeah, she's a cutie.
It's beautiful.
I'm like the crazy cat lady on the block now.
Yeah. But hey, but you also found a partner, right?
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, there's always someone out there for you, right?
Yeah.
Someone
So did you
special.
find him post-COVID?
No, it was it was this beginning of this year.
Okay.
Beginning of this year. So it was actually when I was not looking at all, and that's usually when it happens, right?
Yes, yeah.
Because I was in this mode where I'm like, I'm just going to focus on my business, going to focus on my son, and I'm good all by myself. I've been, on my own for a couple of months, or I think about a year or so prior to meeting him. And I was good. I was really good. And then a couple of us friends went out for like our first outing after, a little bit of the door opened for COVID. And then he was invited by one of my close friends who is actually one of my principal photographers in my business. So there, yeah. And you know what? We got talking and just loved his energy. He's also a dad, so that was a prerequisite for me, right? Like after you've been through a few ups and downs, you're just like, this is what I want, this is what I do not want,
Exactly.
and I'm not going to settle for anything because these are my standards and these are my boundaries.
I love that, right? And it is true. I mean, we have to kiss a few frogs to get to our prince. We all know that.
Yeah, exactly. But also, I also found that going back into the dating world, like post divorce, post marriage, I had to learn to date myself first.
Okay.
Right.
Sure, yeah.
And did I find that out right away? No.
Goodness, yeah. How long did it take?
I think after about a year, I was like, okay, you know what? I really need to be on my own, and I want to learn to take care of me. And of course, I mean, my head was always in personal development. That's why I was aware of it.
Yeah.
Right. Like sometimes when I work with women, they have to become aware. And when they do, it's like a light bulb goes on. Right. So for me, I've always been in the personal development world. So it was just like that. It was a little whisper.
Yeah.
More for me, where I'm like, okay, you need to step back. You need to date yourself. You need to learn how to cook for one person, the days that your son is not with you, you need to go sit at a cafe by yourself and
Nice.
enjoy my own company. Because when you're in a relationship for an extended period of time, you forget how to be alone. You become
do.
that the codependency,
Yeah.
right? And then post relationship, you are still looking for that because now there's like this big void,
For sure, absolutely. Yeah,
right?
that can feel quite lonely.
It is lonely. So then I realized, I said, well, okay, I can't be lonely because I'm with myself always, right? It's like, it's a mindset shift, as you know,
Absolutely,
right?
yeah.
It's a mindset shift. And I said, okay, I'm not lonely. I just don't have a partner, but
Yeah.
I need to fulfill myself. So I would straight up like go into a cafe. I remember the first day I went and sat down to eat on my own. I felt like the entire cafe was staring at me. Nobody was
Oh,
staring
wow.
at me.
No, I don't really know.
Nobody cared about me.
As sad as that
Right?
sounds.
We get into our own head.
I
We get into our
know.
own head. I'm like, nobody. But at that moment, it was like my my fight or flight, my nervous system was like going, my blood pressure. I'm sure if someone took my blood pressure at that point, it was like skyrocket. But and I did that over and over and over again until I started to enjoy my own company. I went back to running outdoors. I started to spend time with my girlfriends in a way where um, I wasn't just spending time with them because I needed a filler, but I was authentically present with them, like really rediscovering myself.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I totally hear you, sister. Yeah,
Right? You must.
yeah. I've also been through this journey. I remember the days when I was just on autopilot, and I know a lot of this is a consequence of trauma. And it was just, like you said, fillers, just meeting people for the sake of it. So I didn't have to face my own demons on my own.
Yes.
And just going into just these awful relationships because I was so insecure and I was trying to fill a void. And,
Yes.
a lot of this, when I look back, it was societal pressure from the family, the fact that being on your own is not good. Apparently we had to I think times have changed now. So I'm kind of talking about the past, just even a few years back that, you have to be in a relationship. Otherwise you really are a weirdo.
Yeah. Or like, are you okay? Like, what's wrong with you? Nothing's wrong with me. Thank you
What's
very
wrong
much.
with you? What have you had to compromise?
Right? Well, that's it. Like when society's like, okay, well, why are you single? I'm like, well, because I choose to be. And that concept is still new.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, it was. I mean, like you said, I think it's becoming more and more acceptable. But I know in the early days for me, it wasn't. You'd always say, okay, well, okay, is there something wrong with you?
Exactly. Yeah. You can't have babies.
Yeah,
God, you get
exactly.
all
Right?
sorts. It's like, you're already feeling a bit low. It's like, yeah, just put me down even more. Why don't you?
That's right.
Come
Just like,
on. Yeah. Yeah. Shove me
well,
off the shelf. Go on.
oh my God. And I mean, I remember at one point my son was really young, and I think he was even younger than your son. I think he was about two and a half, like close to three, right? Like, yeah, three. And I remember just looking at myself in the mirror and I said, I don't know who I am. Like even I couldn't even connect to like my female energy. And at that point, I had to just be okay with being a mom and let that be it. So for so many years, autopilot, right?
Sure, yeah.
Just mom duties, work, mom duties, and then you would date here and there, but you kept that way out of your child's life, like non-existent, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
But then eventually I started to question myself. I'm like, okay, well, I think I'm ready for a meaningful relationship. And how do I do that? Is, well, I have to have a strong relationship with self. And this is something I get my clients to do as well, the ones that are, searching for that partnership. I get them to make a list of everything they want in a partner. And
Okay.
those of you listening, when you guys are listening, I swear, do this, because it's an eye opener. If you're single, even if you're not single and you're listening to this, it's so important to do it, because it can actually better your relationship. So I get them to write down everything they want in a partner. Don't hold anything back. Honesty, support, loyalty, I don't know, anything, even sexually, whatever you're looking for, right? You just
Write
put
it down.
put it down. Yeah, write it down. Write it down. And then I want you to look at the list and ask yourself honestly, deep down, am I willing to give these things to myself? Am I able to be honest with myself? Am I able to be non-judgmental with myself? Am I able to be patient with myself? Am I able to love myself and support myself? If all of these big answers are a question mark or an absolute no, there's work to be done in order for you to attract a partner that's going to bring value to your life.
Interesting. That is so interesting. I've never ever heard of it being described like this, the kind of work that you need to do, because we spoke about Tony Robbins last time, and he goes on about needs, and I think the needs concept is really important. But this, wow, absolutely. I think we get so bogged down with, what we want in the partner that we don't even think, am I, giving this to myself? Am I receiving this right now?
Yeah, exactly. And have communication. I mean, me and my partner, we talk a lot. Sometimes we even tell ourselves, like, we talk a lot. Because he's very much into personal development. He's in the health and fitness industry, so he's always talking to clients and distributors and things. So communication is so big for him. And knowing the line of work that I do, the coaching that I do with women, when it's personal development and health and self-fulfillment, it's so important for me to practice what I'm teaching others and to stay on top of checking in with myself and also checking in with him. So sometimes if I have a couple of days I'm busy, or he has a couple of days that he's busy, we always sort of check in, like, are you okay? Like, we're making sure, like this morning, he said, I just don't want you to think that I'm not spending time with you, or like we're not having enough time. And I said, no, we're good, because I know you're in your mode of creation and I'm in my mode of creation. So by understanding myself, I understand him.
Yeah. Oh, that is amazing, right? And
Communication is so important.
Yeah, it is, yeah. And I think a lot of us, we get, well, okay, I used to get really insecure if my partner weren't texting me. Just thinking, oh, why is he texting me? And that's because I was so lost within myself, just a lost little puppy, right? Whereas, now I'm so fulfilled that, if he doesn't text me, oh, well, we're both busy, so be it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I'm just gonna talk to myself.
Like we are doing now, just looking at the screen, just talking. Oh, for sure. So have you done, obviously we spoke that, about your training and the fact that you give training, and I've actually done a lot of work with therapists on like the love languages, attachment styles. So,
attachment styles. And of course, the famous book, The 5 Love Languages, right? All the different love languages. And because I'm not a relationship coach, but I can, I notice I do work through with women that have to really reconnect to themselves, and they're feeling that void and feeling unloved. And a lot of that is, it can be, I mean, with women, sometimes it can be very self-inflicted.
Yeah, it is. We're our
well,
own worst
right?
critics, aren't we?
Yeah. So I'm able to recognize that and work through that with the coaching training that I've had with my certification. So, and just understanding that, what is our foundation in life is to make sure that our basic needs are met. Right. And these what we are talking about here, those are your basic needs. And it's really unable to, be fulfilled as a woman in your career, in your friendships or your personal relationships, if your basic needs are not met, if you're not feeling safe, if you're not feeling secure,
Yeah, sure,
not feeling
exactly.
supported, right? So all those things are so important, and it's wonderful for me to see that when I work with women, that their relationship actually changes with the partner because they let go of expectations.
Yeah,
I mean, that's
yeah,
big
that's
because,
huge.
when we're even, online dating, like,
Whoa, online dating, honestly. In this era, in this day and age now, oh my goodness. Good luck, everybody. What's going on with online dating?
in the past years, I've tried it, and every time I did, I'm just like, I cannot carry on these conversations. I'm like, I've had to like cancel my accounts, and I'm like, I'm done,
Yeah, me too. Yeah. It's the
done.
robots. There's so many bots.
Yeah, yeah.
Dangerous. Yeah.
It's a whole another world, but you know what, it works for some. I mean, I've met some people who have actually gotten married off of online dating, and
Okay.
if it
Yeah.
works, it works, right? We're
Yeah.
not going to generalize, and
No,
power
that's
to the apps, right? Because I mean, we're on social media, so that's an app.
oh
We're
yes. Oh yeah, we
all
sure
supporting an app, so
yes.
let's not shoot ourselves
We
in the
love the
foot
apps.
here.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
yeah,
we
yeah.
love the
We'll say
app,
that back. Oh, yeah, we love the apps.
but you know what I mean, right? It's
Yeah. Oh
there's so
goodness.
much out there and so much to look through, and I mean, think about it. Those of us women who are busy building a foundation, like building
Mm.
a legacy, leaving something behind, and have children, or are single parents, we don't have a lot of time you
Swipe
know
right, swipe
to
left.
swipe right, left. I don't even know. Like, I remember when I was on it,
Yeah.
I was like, I would do it all the other way. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh no.
So where's he gone?
I'm
Oh
like,
no,
what did
he
I
was
do? What did I do?
late. And then you get a message saying, "Oh, we matched." I'm thinking, "What? How did I match with you?" It's terrible, isn't it?
I'm
Oh
so
no.
glad that I'm out of that. I'm out of that, but at the moment, so
Oh
it's
goodness.
it's a whole another world. And so I did that too, and I said no. I said I want to meet somebody organically,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
And you know what I did?
Yeah.
And again, those of you listening, this is another tip:
Yeah.
create a vision board about the type of partner you want. Have you ever done that, Anu?
I did, but I didn't get him.
Well, he's just not ready to meet you yet.
Because I'm still attached to my the father of my child. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
the big problem.
yeah.
Um, so what I did is I have this huge, like, 7 feet by 7 feet
Oh my goodness.
vision board in my bedroom.
Okay.
It's massive.
That is massive.
Yeah. So
Wow.
when I get up in the morning, the first thing I see is my vision board. And
Wow.
I take a few minutes and I just sit there and
Yeah.
I look
Okay.
at everything that's there. Because every morning I want to get up connected to who I am and what I'm creating, what my purpose is.
That is special.
Yeah. It was one of my things where I was doing small vision boards, and I have small things around the house
Yeah.
too. But I said, you know what? I have this, and I mean, and here's the interesting thing too. We'll get a kick out of this.
Yeah.
That vision board was actually a painting. It's a canvas
Yeah.
that my ex-husband bought for me.
Just to put a spanner in the woodworks. Yeah.
I know, right? It's like recycle. So he's not going to hear this podcast anyways. So I was looking at this and I said, you know what? I obviously, like, this was bought years ago as just like a friendly gift, from my son, like from him to
Yeah.
mom, sort of thing.
Yeah.
And I was looking at it about a year ago, or like at the end of last year, and I said, you know what, I'm going to get rid of this because it's just not needed, it's a reminder, whatnot. And then I said, no, you know what, hold on a second.
Mm.
So I took the paint, took the canvas, I sanded it, and it's actually this beautiful baby blue painting. So I just sanded it down,
Yeah.
And I just went to town and I created a vision board and I took tags to it, and now it's just, yeah,
This
you recycle.
magnificent creation of your
Yeah.
life.
And,
Oh my
like I
goodness.
saged it and all that stuff, like took all the energy.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Oh, but
That is
I put it together. That's the thing when we do vision boards, whether it's for our career or our business, our relationships, our personal relationships, and our family. You have to put intention. Like I have a little ritual, or like you have to intentionally create it. So what I have is one side, it's my business, myself, and then also my son, and what type of partnership I'm looking for. But within that, within the vision board, I also have pictures of my son and my friends. So it's like we forget to put ourselves on our vision board.
We do, yeah, absolutely. It's always about what we want.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So, but it doesn't always come in the same package. All I knew is like, okay, I'm like, if I'm looking for a partner organically, I'm like, I want someone who is a dad. That was very important for me to understand, for a partner to understand what it's like to have a child, because you change.
Yeah,
There
you
are
do.
changes after you have a child.
There is,
Your
yes.
needs are different, right? And your
Yeah.
time and expectations, and there's another
So
human being that's relying on you.
it is, it is. And I always look at my, single friends and, guy friends, and you're right. It's just a very different mindset, a different
Right.
purpose. Yeah, that we live
Yeah.
for. Mm.
So I said to myself, I'm like, I want him to be a dad. I want him to be an entrepreneur, because, it takes an entrepreneur to understand an entrepreneur.
Yeah, it does.
And, and then a couple of other things I went down the line. But when I did it, because I did that list for myself, I was pretty fulfilled with myself. Right. And then there's also something to be said, is that you don't want to say, okay, well, I'm working on myself. And when I'm done working on myself, then I'm ready to find a partner, right? To attract a partner. But guess what? We're never going to be done working on ourselves. It's like, when you say, well, I need to be ready to be a parent.
Oh, yeah.
It's
No,
the
not at
same.
all. Exactly.
Yeah.
Not going to
Same
happen.
thing, because now that I'm in a healthy partnership, there are triggers from the past that are coming up that we're working through, and I wouldn't have known that they were still there had I not been in a relationship.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, and it is. And I think that a lot of this does come out, a lot of the traumas come out with our
Yeah.
partners. So we spoke about, making sure that we daily, that, we do something which brings us out of our comfort zone. And I think if you're scared to date, just go and try and date. Just get out your comfort zone and just,
Yeah,
put yourself in these situations which are going to challenge you, because that's the only way you're going to grow.
exactly. Yeah, and then you may meet somebody organically that way, if you're in a situation where you can, but start with yourself first. And I mean, this is one thing I learned from my marriage, was to not have expectations. You know how we give so much?
Yeah, we do.
We give so much
Yeah.
as women. And a lot of times it's not even asked from us. We
No.
just take it upon ourselves and we just give and give and give. And
Yeah.
then we become resentful because we're giving and we're not getting anything like a thank you back or whatnot. But then when you ask the person, well, and then they say, well, I didn't even ask you to do that.
Oh, I hate that. You're just thinking,
Right.
yeah, so
So
ungrateful.
it's just so I'm at a point now where I'm like, no, I am not going to give. Like there's a limit, a healthy
Good.
way. Like there is a limit. And
Yeah.
if I'm going to do something, it's more like, I'm going to do this for you.
Yeah.
Would you like me to do that? No, no, thanks. Yes,
Okay.
yes, I would love to do that.
Permission.
Permission, right?
Wow.
Because then nobody is confused, nobody's resentful,
Okay. Yeah.
right? And also, just again, like it goes back to communication, and we need to make sure that we are filling our cup in a very self-full way. I don't want women, when they're listening to this, thinking that you have to become selfish, that you have to take all the time to yourself. No, it's just filling your cup a little. It can be something as simple as just going for a half an hour walk on your own, sitting down and having a cup of tea on your own, reading a book in the morning for 15, 20 minutes on your own, something that you can do. Or maybe, like have a time with your girlfriends, Zoom calls, whatever it is that you need to do to fill your cup, and communicate that to your partner.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like the littlest things. And I know, with life, it just takes over and we kind of forget ourselves along the way. And just having those few minutes to yourself, it can just do so much wonders. I mean, sometimes being exhausted, just to lie in bed for 20 minutes,
Yeah.
it's an instant
Yeah.
mood changer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I always had this mentality that I had to work through, that if I get into a long-term relationship, it will take me away from my focus.
Okay.
So I was like the runaway bride in the relationship. I am fully like owning that.
Like me, actually. Yeah.
Is it? Okay, well, that's why we get along. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
why, yeah. Free spirit. Oh, I've always been
Well,
called.
I like that. I like that. So I'm like, fully owning that.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
And now going into a partnership, I am so grounded in myself that I understand that if that thought even comes up, or that feeling ever comes up, that I am losing myself or my focus or my purpose in the work that I do with women, it is the first thing I will vocalize, because I hold that to a high standard. I hold both into a high standard, the work that I do and my partnership.
Okay.
So they both deserve the communication.
Yeah.
And just understanding that has put me in a very relaxed state,
Okay.
that I don't have the need to run. And if that trigger comes up, I communicate that to him.
That is a lot of work there. I can sense it.
Yes.
You've done a lot of work. So much self-awareness. I mean, there's not many people who are so self-aware in this day and age. I know we're getting there, but what would you recommend that, ladies or men even who may be listening to this, who may be out there trying to find? No, I can't say find a partner, can I? Just realized.
Oh. Now I've ruined it for you.
I know, yeah.
Attract a partner, because that's what we're doing, right? We're attracting a partner.
That's the one, yeah. So what kind of advice would you give to them? Vision board?
Well, yeah, I mean, there's the vision board. That definitely does help. I would say become aware of why you are looking for a partner. Okay. And this may be a little, I don't know, difficult to understand, but I think that if I explain it, understand why you're looking for a partner, because a lot of times we just think we need a partner, but what we really need is to go within and focus on ourselves first before we're ready to attract a partner. And if you feel like you are ready to like step your foot into that water or test the waters, start with being present. Being present and loving life and enjoying life on your own, because when you give that energy out, when you radiate that energy, you will attract that energy. Right? So don't look for a partner from a place of lack.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. And that's what I'm trying to say. Sorry, I was like, I'm trying to figure out. I hope I explained it well, but don't look for a partner from a place of lack.
Yeah.
Learn to love and enjoy your life, and then the energy that you put out, there's no way that the universe will leave it unnoticed.
Oh, goodness. It's so strange, because I feel like the last few weeks I've been living my life very abundantly, and I feel like abundance comes my way because of that.
Oh, I just got chills when you said that. I felt that in your voice.
Right? There's something in living abundantly.
Yeah, there is. it really is abundance in love, success, and joy, right? If
Mm,
you live from a place of lack, you're gonna, and the thing is, like attracts like. So if
yeah.
you're looking for something that because you're lacking it, you're gonna find somebody that's lacking, and then there you have the codependency. What you want is interdependency, where you guys can support each other,
Yeah.
but you're not holding each other down and
Yeah.
hostage,
Mm,
right?
absolutely.
It's
Yeah.
like a beautiful balance, but look at why you're looking for a partner and do it for you, not because your sister's saying it, not
Oh,
because your parents are saying it, not because your next door neighbor's wondering why you're single.
yeah. Yeah, exactly right. So basically, societal pressure, just, yeah, ignore it, everybody.
Yeah, and like if you're a woman listening to this, like get dressed up and put
Yeah.
some lipstick on, put some heels on, and as you're working through, sometimes even the ugly that's inside, right? It's like if you're working through those challenges, I mean, I just as cliche, but a little bit of lipstick didn't hurt anybody, or just get your hair done. All of
Absolutely.
that stuff is addition,
Yeah.
but really get fulfilled.
Yeah.
Maybe you're not happy in your career, and that's why you cannot connect to your partner. Maybe you're not happy with your partner. Figure
Mm,
it out. Don't wait till don't wait till the bomb goes off.
yeah,
Right?
exactly. And there's a lot out there now on self-help and about, finding inner peace and inner love. And your book is the
Yeah.
perfect book for that, right?
Oh, it is honestly, it is a beautiful book, and I'm not just saying that because I wrote it, but
Yeah.
it really, I talk about connection to self, connection to body
Mm,
dysmorphia, feeding ourselves healthy, whole food, plant-based options there as well. But it's truly like taking care of yourself, ladies and gents. It will reflect out. You will attract that partner, and don't get so attached to how it's going to show up. Maybe it may not show up in the same package as you wanted it to, right? Because we're looking for like that perfect vision board partner,
yeah,
right? So
yeah.
when you're doing the vision board, understand that like we talk about in businesses, like when you're manifesting something, it may not show up in the same opportunities, but it's there for a reason, right? So if whether someone comes in your life to teach you a lesson,
Yeah.
or to be with you long term, learn something from it.
Every opportunity, again, it's a lesson
Agree.
for growth and just a lesson to learn from.
Yeah.
And yeah, and this is why, even if it's negative experiences or failures, or if you get rejected, just, yeah, it's so difficult not to get offended by these things.
Yes.
But and again, it takes a lot of internal strength and a lot of self-awareness to actually see the positives out of these kind of events.
Yes. It's not easy. It is difficult, especially when you get rejected, to
Mm,
view it as a redirection. I mean, it's easy for me to say it now, but when I was going through it, it was
painful.
painful. It's
Yeah,
painful.
it is.
It's
And
not, there's no happy moment in there.
it's not, and it's that grieving period. I don't know about you, but
Yeah.
every time, even if it's just a few dates that you had with a guy, and then you realize that they're not for you, and
Yeah.
no matter who's doing the ghosting or what have you,
Yeah.
it just hurts equally as
Yeah.
bad if it's you ghosting them or them ghosting you. It's just,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, but
Exactly.
ghosting again, that's probably another story as well.
Oh,
We sh- we
geez.
sh-
I
we shouldn't be
ghosting,
ghosting.
like, yeah, we
We shouldn't be ghosting. So
what is the correct way? Like, no, don't ghost. Come on now. Like, forget about the person in front of you, but have that respect for yourself. It's like there's no point in ghosting. But here's the thing: if you've said what you need to say and that person is still,
harassing
then yes,
you,
block,
right?
delete, get it out. You do not need, this is one thing too, in relationships and women, we love to explain ourselves. We
Oh,
love to explain
yes,
ourselves. This
absolutely.
is the type of communication that you want to avoid, is explaining and justifying yourself.
Okay,
Right? There's no need. If you work on your boundaries
that's
and your
important.
standards, you say it once and that's it.
Okay,
right? And that takes practice, that takes practice, that takes confidence, that takes using your voice, that takes really being truthful and honest and present within yourself, right? That if something was to happen, you have to communicate to somebody that this no longer is working. You have to say it once, and it's not coming back, because we go through that. And if that happens, you don't need to go back and return messages and justify yourself again and explain why this is not working. I've had situations where I've had to do that, and I'm like, I've said it once. You don't understand it, that's on you.
Yeah, some people, they just can't take it.
Yeah.
The ego, right?
Yeah, the ego, and also because that's the thing. It's like we also think that I've learned to look at each person like there's a little child. So it's like when I look at you, I see you as the child self,
Okay.
right? So when I speak to other people, and even the opposite sex, it's like if they're suffering or if they're not understanding, I look at them and I'm like, okay, what did you go through in your childhood that is that's making it difficult for you to understand me right now? Right? So instead of me explaining myself, I'm trying to understand them.
Okay. Oh, I love that.
Yeah. It's
that,
like
yeah.
a complete shift. Because then you're like, okay, then you know how to answer back in a way where this is what I mean, this is what I've said, this is what you needed, goodbye.
Yeah.
Right?
And that's empowering.
Yeah.
Yeah. To get to that state, because
Yeah.
you're right. I think we do, a lot of us get into that mode where we feel like we need to explain why it's not working, and write down the list of things, but we don't really. We don't need to explain.
Yeah, you don't need to do that pros and cons list. Remember, we all did that. I did that so many times in high school. Oh gosh. It's gonna flashback. You don't have a pros and cons list. No.
Let's not do that. No.
If you have to do, let's just say here, if you have to do a pros and cons list, you already have the answer.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Gotta go.
Yeah.
If you have to make a list to see if that person, make a list like we were talking about to give to yourself, right? But if you have to make a list to understand if that person needs to stay in your life,
no good. Yeah. Well, I've been following my intuition and gut instincts quite a lot. And yeah, if it doesn't feel right, I'll make sure I listen to that, and then I'll try and justify it by actions.
Yeah, exactly. And if you listen to your gut, making sure that your gut health is up to par, is optimally functioning, right? Gut brain connection. Yeah. So it's a whole another world in dating once your gut brain connection is like clean.
Well, I'm on Ayurvedic herbs at the moment.
Oh, yes, you are. Yeah, how's that going?
Amazing. So much energy, right? And gut movements are very healthy.
Yes, good. But you know what? By you just doing that, now just jogs my memory, because you just said a couple of minutes ago that lately you've been living your life more from a sense of abundance.
Yeah, for sure. Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
When your body is working at an optimal level, you cannot help but feel it. When you're that in tune with your body, you are living from a sense of abundance.
Yeah, this is it. It's just not putting in dead foods into my system and processed foods, just all those chemicals, right? I never realized the impact that a lot of these processed foods are having on our body and our mindset, and it's all linked. We are our bodies, we are the food that we eat.
Exactly. Well, our body is our home, and the sooner we realize it, you know how we clean our homes, we keep it neat and tidy, we dust, we vacuum, all of that, or I hope a lot of people are doing that.
But hiring someone.
Right? Or hiring somebody. God knows I'm looking for somebody. So if someone's listening to this, I need a house cleaner.
Get over to Vancouver, right?
Yeah. Vancouver, BC.
There you go.
But it's the same way. Our body is our home. Keep it clean. Yeah. Feed it well. Fill it with beautiful moments and thoughts.
Yeah.
and joy and love, because it is our home. It's so important. I mean, of course, and when we eat better, we feel better, our skin is better, our hair is better, we just feel more upbeat, we feel more attractive.
Yeah.
It all
It all
in a little bow
intertwines.
tie,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
absolutely. And it's just live organic foods,
Yeah.
if you can get to the farm, or, get to your supermarket and just get yourself some live organic foods and just
Yes.
fill your body with life.
Right. And seasonal. Eat seasonal. That's the big
Mm,
thing too.
yeah.
Eat what is in season, because that's where you need to get the most amount of nutrients. Your body is needing those nutrients that the seasonal vegetables and fruits are providing you. Right. And that's
Brilliant. Yeah.
that's so important, because it is so much easier when we're eating healthy for our organs to function well, because they're the ones who have to clean out all the toxins we're putting in. Right.
Exactly.
So let's
Yeah.
give our organs a bit of a hand. And, if
Definitely.
our liver is working well, if our kidney is working well, our pancreas is working well, all
Mm,
of that affects our blood sugar levels,
yeah,
right?
it
Especially
does.
wemen, like we're walking, talking hormones. So you want to talk
Ah,
about dating,
yeah.
please be hormonally balanced, ladies.
Exactly, right? Thyroid gland, that just takes a
Yes,
huge knock, doesn't it? I
yes,
think as in our
yes.
40s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing is that if your thyroids are in overdrive, your adrenal glands are helping it out. And then eventually, like they get to slow down, and then you're just fatigued and chronic
Mm,
stress and lowered estrogen, progesterone, testosterone levels. And of course, it's very difficult to connect to a partner, because we're not emotionally feeding and releasing the hormones we need to.
exactly. Yeah.
Right. So it can be very difficult. Like we feel unattractive,
Mm,
even though you could be the most beautiful woman in the world. But
mm,
if you feel that inside, there's a reason why that is happening.
yeah, there is.
Right.
Yeah. And so, ladies and gents, it's all about, self-awareness and just educating yourself on, what's good for you, and to just feed your body with the nutrients that your body deserves, right?
Exactly. Yeah,
Mm.
absolutely. And I always say, like, what's the best vitamin in the world is vitamin L, love.
Oh, I love that.
Vitamin L.
Yes, beautiful.
No, that was so
Oh,
corny, but
oh, I love that, honestly. Well, it's the time's just gone, and I just want to say again, thank you so much for contributing so much to my guests. I know that they all love you. I haven't actually released the our first episode, so once that's out, then this will be out after. And please do get onto Ashika's website and on her social media. I'll be leaving all the links in the description boxes, and check out her book, Redesigning the Inner You, where you will be inspired.
Oh, thank you so much, Anu. I'm just so grateful for you and having to be here to chat with your listeners and you. I mean, like I said, I feel like we've known each other for such a long time. It's
No, right.
like a girls' night, and we
Girls'
get to
night.
talk about relationship and dating. I'm like, woohoo!
Great.
It's amazing. But you inspire me. Like I was saying in the beginning, before we
Oh,
press record, it was just, you know, the topics you bring, your voice, the questions you ask, your presence is
mm,
so inspiring. And thank you so much for using your voice
thank you.
to help the
Wow.
world.
Thank you so. Wow, I've just got tingles down my legs. Legs. Pins and needles. No. But thank you so much for that. And again, I'm sure we'll be back for another episode. Listeners, if you have any ideas for any topics for us, then fire them
Yeah,
away.
anytime.
Always happy to serve, aren't we?
Yeah.
Lovely. So, listeners, I shall see you in the next show. Please do get in touch if you have any questions. We love you. Stay blessed, and be careful of the weirdos out there when you're dating.
Yeah.
And most of all, just have lots of vitamin L in your life.
Yes.
What else is there? Oh, bye, everybody. See you in the next show.
Bye.